After Buda's fall in 1686, saw both the Habsburg and Ottoman empires enter a period of intense preparation for the upcoming spring campaign, while the Habsburgs capitalized on the winter lull by bolstering their forces with mercenaries and rigorous training. Their ambitions extended beyond territorial gain. Emperor Leopold transformed the conflict into a crusade, imbuing it with religious fervor. Conversely, the Ottomans grappled with a severe financial crisis. Despite imposing new taxes and utilizing the imperial treasury, their ability to field a formidable army was hindered by a reliance on hastily levied, untrained troops. The toll of the previous year's battles had been so devastating that the Ottoman Empire, for the first time in its history, sought peace with its adversaries, a plea that went unanswered. With the arrival of spring in 1687, the Habsburgs initiated their offensive. A combined force of over 50,000 troops, led by the Duke of Lorraine and the Elector of Bavaria, converged on Osijek in Croatia. Suleiman Pasha, the Ottoman commander based in Belgrade, responded by marching his 60,000-strong army to relieve the besieged city. Successful in driving back the imperial forces, he pursued them northward. The confrontation culminated at Najaharsani, a site imbued with historical significance for both empires. It was here, in 1526, that the Ottoman conquest of Hungary had begun with the catastrophic Battle of Mohács, resulting in the kingdom's collapse and the subjugation of its people. The choice of Najaharsani as the battleground was a stark reminder of past triumphs and defeats, elevating the stakes of the impending clash. Battle of Mohács. The Duke and Elector anticipated a decisive battle near Najaharsani. Despite the rugged terrain, he ordered his right and center flanks to move to Siklos, leaving the Bavarians to protect Najaharsani. Unbeknownst to them, Sari Suleiman Pasha noticed the imperial army's movements and prepared to attack the isolated Bavarian wing, nearly 5 kilometers away from the Duke's main force. The Ottoman right flank, composed mainly of cavalry, swerved right while the left flank, consisting of infantry, charged the Bavarians. A contingent of 5,000 Sepahists aimed to outflank the stationary Bavarians. Maximilian deployed his army into lines and sent messengers to the main imperial force. Eugene of Savoy, leading a small cavalry contingent, turned back to assist the Bavarians. Meanwhile, Louis William, Margrave of Baden-Baden, quickly rallied a cavalry force to counter the Ottomans. News of the Ottoman attack reached the Duke of Lorraine, who initially hesitated to respond. After much convincing, he turned his army around, but the Bavarians continued to fiercely resist the Ottoman assault. Suleiman Pasha, aware of his troops' inexperience, ordered a retreat and began an artillery duel, allowing the Duke's army to regroup west of Najaharsani. Maximilian urged Charles to launch a counterattack. Frustrated by the Duke's reluctance, Maximilian and Louis decided to act independently, forcing Charles to eventually support them. The Ottomans launched another assault on the Bavarian flank. Despite the Duke's slow progress through dense woods, some of his troops managed to reinforce the Bavarians. In the ensuing battle, Eugene led his cavalry, pushing the Janissaries back towards their barricades. Louis' cavalry pushed back the Sepahists, creating a pincer movement that trapped the Janissary infantry. Many Ottoman soldiers broke and fled, hindered by the marshy terrain and rivers, resulting in heavy casualties. The imperial army suffered under 3,000 casualties, while the Ottomans lost around 8,000 killed or wounded and 2,000 captured. The imperial forces seized 78 artillery pieces, 56 flags, and 5,000 muskets. The defeat at the Battle of Mohács sent shockwaves through the Ottoman Empire, highlighting the state's instability. After a failed counterattack, the Grand Vizier's army mutinied in Petrovaradin. Suleiman Pasha fled to Istanbul, followed by angry troops. This led to a widespread mutiny, culminating in the execution of the Grand Vizier and the deposition of Sultan Mehmed IV, who replaced by his brother Sultan Suleiman II. The mutiny lasted until April 1688. The Habsburg leadership capitalized on the turmoil within the Ottoman state, advancing in a lightning campaign and capturing key cities and strongholds, including Osijek, Petrovaradin, and Eger. In December, the Hungarian Diet elected the Habsburgs as hereditary kings of Hungary. Mauryan War. Operations in western Greece 1684. Venice initiated its campaign against the Ottoman Empire by targeting Lefkada Island. Despite an initial failed attempt, Venetian forces successfully captured the island's fortress. Building on this victory, Venice conquered the mainland region of Acarnania with the aid of local Greek rebels. Strategic coastal strongholds were seized, disrupting Ottoman supply lines. However, the campaign was hindered by disease and heavy losses, prompting Venice to seek reinforcements through alliances with Saxony and Hanover. Conquest of the Morea 1685–87. In 1684, the Maniots in the Peloponnese revolted against Ottoman rule due to lost privileges and heavy taxation. They sought Venetian aid, which was initially delayed. The Ottomans responded by reinforcing their troops and invading Mani. Despite initial Venetian support, the Maniots were eventually forced to surrender. In June 1685, the Venetian army landed at Coron and besieged the fortress, facing resistance from Ottoman forces. After a successful siege and the surrender of Coron, the Maniots renewed their revolt. The Venetians then targeted Kalamata, defeating the Ottoman forces and capturing the city. In 1686, Venice launched a decisive campaign to conquer the Peloponnese from the Ottomans. Led by Morosini and Königsmark, Venetian forces swiftly captured key cities like Navarino and Modin. The capture of Nauplia was a turning point, establishing a strong base for further operations. Despite Ottoman resistance and disease, the Venetians, aided by mercenaries, successfully expanded their territory, shattering the myth of Ottoman invincibility and inspiring hope among the region's people.